people you can't root for in my house: the Cowboys and the devil.
Did you see our boy today?
Defense. Oh my God.
Did you see our boy today?
That was the Chase show. Loving that front line.
Yes.
Woo, that's y'all. They added some key pieces. Sweat.
Yeah, love Sweat. Yeah.
Young boy.
Yeah. The young boy. What's his name?
Chase. So,
and I want to see a little bit more from Chase. I know he's young. I know he's still learning and progressing and coming up to NFL level, but I want to see more. I was going to say, my boy came up today and he looked like he was ready. He was on that sideline looking real hawkish and real fierce. I was excited. I was happy.
He's looking real what?
Hawkish.
He's real hawkish.
Hawkish. That was the Chase one-man wrecking crew show today.
He was all over the place.
He showed
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Right there. You stay for that.
That defense.
Oh.
Listen.
What did he do, Sabrina?
With all his little stats today?
Yes.
Girl, he done did so much. What did he do? He got some, let me look at that. Let me make sure I get this thing right.
I could call someone. He got 2 batted passes down.
I know he had 6 tackles today.
He had a fumble recovery.
He had an interception. No, he didn't have an interception.
Yes, he had a fumble recovery. He had a sack.
Yes.
And what was the last thing he got?
Oh, he got 2 quarterback hits, and then what did he get at the end?
A touchdown.
Yes. He got the trifecta. He got the fumble. He caused the fumble. He scooped it up and ran it back.
Loving it. That's
the Chase I want to see. I know he can't do this every week, but he can make
That boy number 21. He's good.
And they double team him so much, and he's still doing this. He's doing this sometimes with double teams. This boy is a beast. I'm so happy for him.
But you know the little extra in my cup. Who was he going after on?
Trent Williams. But you know what? Let me say this though. I can't cheer about that because Trent was done dirty by this team. Trent Williams was done dirty. I didn't want him to have a bad game.
I didn't want to have a bad game, but we gotta win. You can put all your little feelings in the cup to this John. Oh, we in first place by ourselves.
First place, because the perfect thing happened. We won and the New York Giants lost. They lost to the Cardinals, to the Arizona Cardinals today. And the Giants had this huge win last week. This huge, they beat the Seahawks, who we play next. But then they come this week and lose to the Cardinals and just they kind of had like a lame duck situation today. They didn't do very much. No. And it's like that reminds me of the conversation that we had last week about the Cardinals. We had a conversation.
Mm-hmm. The question I posed.
Yes.
I had a week to think about. I'm not gonna change it. This is giving you a disclaimer. I had a week to think about it. So last week, go back and watch, please. Mm-hmm. The question was in reference to Larry Fitzgerald, because he's coming to the end, and the question we posed was, would you spend your career and be loyal to one team or switch to chase the ring, switch teams to chase the ring? And I did a little bit of reading. The average, I said it was 5 years, it's 3.3 years.
What's 3.3 years?
The average NFL career. It's 3.3 years, it's not 5.
Right.
And also, Larry has been to Super Bowl twice. They just didn't win.
Yeah.
So I guess my disclaimer would be, I kind of still feel the same way, but I do understand about the loyalty thing. So,
still disagree. You still feel like you would chase the ring.
Sabrina, come on. Now that I found out it's 3.3 years, I'm done. Especially, what if they put you on a team like the Jets?
Who, by the way, still are winning.
Oh, winless.
There have only been 2 teams that have ended their seasons winless. It's the 17 Browns
and the Lions.
And the Lions back in like 08, whatever.
Listen, how we know that? How did we know that? It could have been them Cowboys one year, but who they beat?
Oh, they beat us. We're not going to talk about that part.
Lord, I get it because I felt that way when it came up on our first one. I think our second episode of Spike and Heels, I was a little bit upset at Ron Kurgan.
Yes.
But I feel like he's leaving for the wrong reason. Like if he was leaving to go and get his accolades somewhere else, he was leaving because Sweat was outplaying him.
Yes.
Like
and
I've seen him on the left side with Sweat, and I've seen him on the left side with Chase. But Sweat done knocked down passes and all. They younger. And Chase is just beast mode. What's your word for him, Beanie? He is the
hawkish. He was full Hulk mode today.
Man,
he could have played that whole thing by himself.
That baby is 21 playing like that from the DMV. Don't it just make you feel better every time you talk? Every time I learn more about him, I get excited. I'm a defense girl.
Yeah,
I'm straight. I like my quarterback every now and then, Aaron and Lamar, but
yeah. So,
wow.
So excited about Chase. We were talking earlier, and we were saying just basically that this defense that we have now kind of is starting to remind us of like Charles Mann and Dexter Manley and all of them. For those of you who
Darryl
are
Green.
old enough.
That's what we missing, a Darryl Green in the backfield.
Yes, we are.
That's what we missing. They do their part. But Sabrina, getting back to the question, yeah, that's where I am with it. I still have the same stance, but I do feel like that's their prerogative. So you're still where you are as well, Sabrina? Because the comments were split.
Yeah. The comments were split. I still feel the same way. I think I would rather stay with one team and be able to stay my whole career there, because it's not just about football. After so many years, once you're with the team, you build community, you volunteer, you have all of these connections. If you have kids, your kids are in certain schools, and they get in activities. It's just bigger than football. And so I think I would stay. Let me say this, if I thought the team had a chance of any kind. Now,
so if you was on the Jets.
No, I'm gone.
If you was on the Dolphins.
I'd stay.
Because of who they have now.
Yeah, they should.
One more team, the Falcons.
Well, the Falcons stink now, but
Sabrina, they've been to the ship a couple of times.
Yeah, they have. And
they lost the biggest lead at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
The biggest lead
ever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get the Falcons past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to keep. I thought it out. I can see where it would be okay if you stay or left. Me personally, I want that blame. So that was a great. And thank you guys for commenting. It was great to read the comments.
Thank you for the comments.
Yeah. And speaking of the Jets, Russell went up monkey stomped them today.
Yeah.
The Seahawks beat them 40-3.
Yeah, that was easy work, very light work.
I just, I need somebody to soften them up this week. I pray to God that him and Sierra be boo loving this week, so he could be a little bit distracted.
Now, listen, for those of you who may not have watched previous shows, Gwen has been telling Russell Wilson to stay away from Sierra because she say she messing up his game.
I don't know what's going on with Sierra and Russell. She need to leave him alone. He need to do what boxers do, how they get ready for a fight. They go away 2 months and train, do something. Because he is way off. As long as Russell stay away from Sierra and that new baby, we be all right.
If you don't tell that man to stop staying away from his wife.
I'm not, Sabrina, this is football. He got the whole other 8 months to be around her. If you are not producing and acting right, you can talk to her on the phone or FaceTime her and the baby. But something was up with Russell them couple of weeks. And like I said again, they had an intervention.
So what you're saying is the man can't be around.
Distracted a little bit, as he should be. She's beautiful. He got his first baby boy, biological. I get it. But come on now, you can kumbaya with them after you win the Super Bowl and slap a word.
Now this week when Washington, we playing.
Boo loving. I'ma send them my slow sexy jam CD or MP3 or whatever they listen to, because I need this man distracted because Russell is a skins killer.
Yeah, every time we play the Seahawks, particularly in the playoffs, which is few and far between, we always seem to get seeded to play the Seahawks. and he gets us every time.
I can't remember the last time we beat them in the regular season. We don't play them often because they're in another conference. So I think it's every 4 years or something like that.
Another division. Yeah, I don't know if it's every 2 or every 4. But
it's 2 for the NFC. You're right.
Yeah,
it's every 2. Okay. You're right. He's the NFC. Right. He's in. I'm not sorry. He's not in another conference. He's in another division within our conference.
Yeah. So
wow. And I'm just, man, I needed them to put in a little bit less work. They just did what they wanted to do in that game. It's more than a monkey stomp. It wasn't a gorilla stomp because they at least scored 3 points. Can we come up with a orangutan stomp, something in the middle?
So the orangutan stomp is in the middle.
That's when you score a field goal.
So for those who did not watch the previous show on this, Gwen came up with these phrases. A monkey stomp is when what, Gwen?
The team loses, your team, the team loses by 20. And a gorilla stomp is when you are shut out, 0.
Oh, God.
So they scored 3 points, but they lost by 37. So it's almost.
I still think that's a gorilla stomp. I mean,
okay, you can have the gorilla. But yeah, that game, I could barely stomach it.
Yeah, and so
I wanted to see how the Seahawks look because we're playing them next.
We played them
I wanted to see, but.
So what do you think? So we play them next week. Are we going to win that game?
Come on now. First of all, we got to find out what's wrong with Alex.
We didn't talk about that.
We have to find out what's wrong with Alex. I knew something was wrong with his leg in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. Because when he was throwing, his trajectory was off and it was no oomph behind his passes. And sure enough, Haskins comes in.
And I think this, I'm sorry, go ahead. I think this, I feel like I've said in previous weeks, even if Alex is not the end all to be all, I still think he's a better option than Dwayne right now. If Dwayne has to be in next week, I think we might be in trouble. Now, I read the latest news. They said Alex had a calf strain that was mild and the x-rays were negative. That doesn't sound like he's going to have to be out. He better ice that sucker, put something on there, cortisol. I don't know what them people shoot up in there.
Only way I'm scared because I don't know which leg it was on. And the calf on that other leg was rebuilt from, he had no calf.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm a little bit afraid of, like which leg was it?
Mm-hmm.
Because that seemed like something he could have worked through if it was the non-surgical leg.
Mm-hmm.
But we in trouble. And I just sidebar to 1 second.
Yeah.
1 minute, Sabrina. I still don't want to give up on Haskins, but what is going on? This dude is not progressing at all. They did everything in their power to set this dude up. They went and got the Ohio State coach for him. He has McLaurin. They played together with him. He got a couple of other Ohio State roommates. Our boy Chase played with him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. But I see they got this little family, but he's still not progressing to me. Like, how long does it take?
Yeah, and we were talking earlier again about this, and I was saying that I feel like Haskins reminds me of Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston has all this talent, had all this hype with him, but he never produced and lived up to that hype. And I feel like Haskins is in that boat right now, but it's still early for him, so he can come out of it and progress and show us that he is not that person. But he reminds me.
This is his second or third year?
Say it again.
Let's be fair. This is second or third year?
For Haskins?
Yes.
I want to see it's his second. I need to check on that. I want to see
second year. So I'm gonna reserve my comments for the end of next year and see what they
I'm a little early with the Winston comparison, but that's what it feels like.
It's heading that way.
Right.
To me, I feel that. Too.
So are we saying that we have a chance to win the game if Alex is in, or we don't stand a chance either way? Like, what are we saying?
If we Superman, the Seahawks are the kryptonite.
Okay.
And I would never go against my team, but I'm true. It's going to be a hard win.
Okay.
It's going to be a hard win.
So you say a hard win.
Since we've been doing these predictions, we've been right so far. We predicted the Cowboys win in AT&T Stadium. We predicted the Steelers, last week. This one, oh my God. We need to win, Sabrina, but I'm not sure if we can do it.
I'll say this. If Alex is in,
we win. If Alex is in, we win.
If Alex is in, we win. If Alex is not in, we got a loss.
Stomp.
Oh, wow, that bad?
Haskins ain't putting up no points.
And Dwayne, if anybody knows Dwayne, can see Dwayne, prove us wrong. Please believe me, we are on your side.
We are rooting for you, young man. But
show us. Show us. Give it to us. Like we was calling out our boy Chase, and he came up. Not that he saw the show yet. But anyway, we calling you out now. Come on, Dwayne. Give it to us. Give it to us,
we
please.
are begging.
Uh-huh.
I've been his cheerleader from day one. And I'm like, man, he hasn't done I don't see any progression. He's not getting better to me in any of it. But we'll see. And I've been watching football for over 40 years, so please help me. What was going on at the end of the game?
Well, who game?
With Riverboat Ron, our game. Like, I felt like he was taking timeouts where he need, and they kneeled too soon. They should have made one more play.
I thought they were going to be able to run out the clock.
You don't give the team an opportunity when you only down by 8. They could have, you know how many Hail Marys have existed in the past? They should have never got the ball back.
Nope. And that's what they were saying.
Like, what in the world was going on? Riverboat Ron, like, what are you doing, dude? You have to get these little kinks out when you go to the playoffs because you never know that one play will send your hind pox home.
Send you home. And that's what even Chase was on the sideline like, wait, I thought
exactly. What's going on? Why we not out there? Why are y'all kneeling? Let this dude, they have no confidence in Haskins. They would rather have given the team the ball back than from him to throw that ball because he had an interception.
Yeah.
No, collegiate is a whole different monster from NFL. But, man, come on now. Man, I was like, what is Riverboat Ron doing? Come on now, dude. You kneel to let somebody run, do something, throw a pass, but you don't give. You down by 8. That is 1 touchdown and a 2-point conversion, which they already just did.
Yep.
So I'm like, come on now. You don't get a team the ball back. What's wrong with them? They need me, Sabrina. I need to have my mic on the field. Just give me an earpiece. So I can cuss them out between the plays. And I got some choice words I ain't using years. But, oh, man. What was he doing? Sabrina, I thought it was me. Was it me, Beanie?
No, because I didn't understand. Some of the things he does, it makes you just scratch your head like.
Is this dude the coach or he faking? Like, do he have the credentials? Because I know this much, and you know what I mean? You don't get no 49ers the ball back who just got it. Man, I was looking at the TV like, what in the world is going on here? Man, I'm telling you, Sabrina, this dude gonna blow it. I'm telling you.
Don't you say that.
Same boat with Dan and roll on up out of here. I'm telling you, it did not make sense.
Yeah, it didn't.
But we'll see. Next week is the test, ladies and gents. We got to get Sierra and Russell Boo-Levin so we can try to win. We got to make sure Alice is okay. We need one more threat. I'm starting to fall in love with, I always say his name wrong, Logan Thomas.
That's right.
Got it. So, ladies and gents, we do have 2 divisional winners already. Like, they've won their division. They can stop playing today if they wanted to, but they're not.
Yeah.
And those teams are?
So the Super Bowl champion Chiefs clinched their division today, their 5th straight. And so they are in the playoffs already. They beat who did they beat today, Gwen? I done forgot. It was the Dolphins. Yeah, it's their 5th straight division win. And they beat the Dolphins today. And it was close. I remember that it was closer than what it should have been. But at any rate, they did it. And so 5th straight, which seems unbelievable. But yeah, so they're in. And then also the Packers clinched their division today. So they are in. Aaron Rodgers is in once again, like he is most of the time.
Yeah.
And
those 2 teams are always present. But this is the thing. And this goes back to my shakiness with Alice. Because if you say 5 years, 3 of those were with Alex. And they never won the Super Bowl or even went.
Oh, I see.
Mahomes got them over the hump and got them to the Super Bowl and won it. So if they win the last 5 years, he's only been 2 years, I don't think.
It's maybe 2 or 3.
Yes.
Yes. And the Saints, I believe, are in as well, but they stumbled today, like we
Yes,
talked about
they
earlier.
are in. They're definitely in.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely in.
Okay. So
but I think the Packers can catch them if they start losing. That's why they're in, but they haven't clinched that first spot.
Right. Seeding of who's first, second, third, fourth, etc. is not set in stone yet for the playoffs, but that certain teams are already going to go to the playoffs. It just depends on where they're going to fall.
Correct.
In the seeding. So,
correct.
And I was talking to a friend earlier, and she said, Sabrina, what is seeding? What does that mean? And so maybe we'll talk about that on an upcoming Football for Beginners.
Yeah, we're going to have to explain the playoffs.
Yeah, because playoffs are coming in like 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, we're going to have to explain it. And that's a whole different monster. One and done. Well, as you and most people in the world know, there is a God. The Cowboys won today.
They got to win. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay.
But they're behind.
They're still behind.
You have them by at least 2 games, I think.
Yeah, they're in last place still. Yeah.
So they gotta win, but that's your calm. But see this with Sabrina, when they win, they hit you the little chatters.
They ain't saying too much now because they know they still in last place.
Sabrina, you must got the good ones.
I ain't heard.
I was being nice. I was supposed to be rocking my Ravens gear. I was supposed to take a picture and all that. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let this sleeping dog lie. Mm-hmm. We won, they lost. I'm not going to act like them.
Right.
So I just let it go. But I'll get a little bit of flip. Not much, but we coming back.
Yes.
And I'm like, coming back to get your feelings hurt. So, Beanies, what's going on in AFC North?
So that is, I think you were saying earlier, that is one of the best divisions, probably the most competitive in the league this year. It's so tight. I still can't believe the Browns are all in there.
Come on now.
Anyway, so the Ravens and the Browns play tomorrow night on Monday night, and that is going to be a game.
The Ravens need that game to get in because they at 8th spot right now.
Right, and
they need that game to get in.
There are only 7 playoff spots, so the Ravens need that game tomorrow. And I know if the Browns lose, they're going to be tied at 9-4 with some other teams.
Yeah.
Let's look at the playoff picture, everybody. So there's going to be 3 teams tied for 9-4. So I don't know where that puts Cleveland in that number. So let me say that.
The Ravens have to win out to get in, which is doable. I've seen that schedule. It's doable.
I don't know if they have to win. Do they?
They have to win out. Or they have to win all. They can only have 1 loss,
right?
And it can't be to a conference team.
Mm-hmm.
So they playing the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So they playing the Giants.
They're playing some
Browns.
Mm-hmm. And one more.
They can't lose this game tomorrow.
Oh yeah, this game tomorrow is critical for Baltimore. It's crucial, and if the Cleveland Browns do lose, I don't know how that's going to affect them because there are 2 other teams right now who are at 9-4. I think it's the Titans and the Colts. So I don't know if that would push the Browns down any, if they would stay the same, because they're all going to be 9-4. So this is the time of year where wins and losses count so much because that playoff seeding is starting to come into play. So this game tomorrow is going to be huge. And right now, as we're taping this, the Buffalo Bills are actually beating the Steelers at the very last few seconds of the game winding down. So the Bills have this game, which means the Steelers have lost 2 in a row, but I don't think their seeding will change. I think they're still second. Pittsburgh is.
Behind Kansas City.
And Kansas City is still first.
In the AFC Conference.
Right. Yes.
Wow, 2 in a row.
2 in a row for the Steelers losing.
Steeler Nation is not going to be happy.
No. So we don't want, this is the wrong time of year to be doing this. They should have got this out of the way before.
In the beginning.
Yeah. So that's the AFC picture as you're looking at, or as you did look at. And now we're going to give you the NFC picture. And so this is the NFC picture. And right now, Green Bay is in first, New Orleans second, Rams third. Washington is fourth, followed by Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Arizona. And so that's at the end of this week. That's how it stands. So things can change week to week, y'all. This is the last push, the last playoff push. And so these teams that are in these spots are like right on the bubble at the 7th or 8th spot. They want to win. Winning is everything at this point.
So Sabrina, we actually skipped the conversation about our team, our Washington team, because we recorded on Monday. We had a Monday game, remember?
Yes, that's right.
We recorded on Sunday. We had the game on Monday, and we predicted that win.
Yes, we did.
And I was so happy because the defense again showed up. Like we both knew something was up. The Steelers were suspect. They were barely eking by on these wins. They were, to me, it was luck more than talent.
Well, it was a little bit of both.
It was more luck than talent because the Cowboys almost had them. The Ravens almost had them. The Browns almost had them. And I knew their number would get called. I didn't see that team being an undefeated team. Right. They were missing too many pieces. So the Buccaneers defeated the Vikings today. I kind of usually root for the Vikings because our old quarterback Kirk Cousins plays with the Vikings. I still really like Kirk a lot. And Tom had a fairly decent game. It's typical Tom Brady. Like, what else can you say about him? A great player. I'm a little worried because they got to play the Falcons and a couple of other games. I'm not sure if they're going to win out. So currently they're in 6th position going into the playoffs on the NFC side. The Cardinals is right behind them. I don't see any other team catching up with them. So he may get in on a wild card spot.
Yeah, and I think
it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and so the Buccaneers are 6th. The Cardinals are 7th, which is now the last spot now. And then in 8th place are the Vikings, who the Buccaneers just beat today. And I wanted to mention the Vikings kicker today missed 4 field goals in that game. And
that dude's going to lose his job.
And they lost by exactly 12 points. So 4 times 3 is 12. So that tells you right there.
Them little inconsistent plays and little things like that will throw you off. We need them kicks. Had it not have been for our kicker today, we wouldn't have won by the margin that we won. We didn't score any points from the offensive side, but the field goal.
And my thing is, as a kicker, how do you miss?
Man, didn't I tell you about the kicker position?
4 in one game? That's impossible.
Man, you got on your shoe too tight. You got athletic feet or something. Because 4
field goals.
When they lose that bad, they usually lose their job on Monday.
Yeah,
they usually switch out because now you're just not producing.
Yep, and that could have been the difference.
The playoffs.
That could have been the difference between them going from the 8th seed to the 7th somehow.
Exactly.
So yeah, he could have cost them a spot this week.
Like we were saying, what position I would never play? The kicker.
Yeah, and I thought about that a little bit more because we were talking before, guys, about what position will we not want to play on the field. I said cornerback, which is on the defense. Gwen said kicker, and I'm like, the more I think about it, you're right. Because if you're the kicker and you miss the game-winning field goal,
he getting all kind of death threats. Now that gambling is legal and stuff like that. These people losing money. It gets so serious. You get what I'm saying, Sabrina? You miss 4. Get out there and kick too. Was all 4 of them past the 60-yard line?
I don't know the distance.
Come on now. So once he missed the first 2, somebody should have said we need to get in this end zone because this dude ain't producing today.
4 kicks. So
I just want to just congratulate my Redskins again.
Yes.
That was the best 14 days of football we have had in a decade.
What was it? The Bengals, the Cowboys,
and then the Steelers.
And then today, now we add on
4 wins.
4 in a row.
And my family, we represent and we hold down Redskin Nation. I'm going to introduce you to the future. And I just want to represent, I just want to let you see how my family is representing and holding down Redskin Nation.
Yes.
We have Madison and Malia. These are my cousins. They're Malik's baby girls. He's a girl's dad. He only has girls, but as you can see, he's raising them right. And on my side, we have my niece Tatum. This is Tatum a year or 2 ago. She still has that same up from the skins, but I just wanted to post these pictures to let you see it. Raise them up from children the way they should go.
Yes.
When they get older, they will not depart from you.
Train them up right. Don't be putting them stars on them. Don't put them stars
on now.
And yes, and Gwen mentioned that the girls were Malik's daughters. Malik is one of our frequent commenters and one of Gwen's cousins.
Yes.
Right.
But I just wanted to show that, you know, you start young in my family.
That's great.
Start young.
That's great. My son said to me, I have 2 children, and my son says to me, Mommy, I'm going to root for the Cowboys. I said, not in this house. Not in this house.
I got one. I got more. They all over the place. I done brung these children up wrong. I gave them too much freedom.
Right.
With
and
all the oomph and energy I have, I got a Cowboys. He just let the cat out the bag last week. He was Patriots when we were coming up because I would buy them, you know, football stuff for Christmas. I got a Steeler.
I can allow it.
Ellis is a Colts.
Okay.
Then the other 2 really don't. But yes. And I'm like, what is going on in my house?
I'm like, my son is 8. He's about to be 9 in a couple of days, actually. And
do you let him be? You have to.
No, ma'am, I would not. He can root for any team except them.
Except for the 2 people you can't root for in my house: the Cowboys and the devil. And I meant that. And they go simultaneously, like the same off you gonna put on the enemy. You put Dallas in that category.
So yeah,
I'm not playing
any team. Now, when he gets a little older, like 16 or so, yeah. But you 8 or 9, no, you're gonna cheer for the Redskins, Washington.
Yeah, I got one, Sabrina, but he's grown. He's 26. I can't tell him living on his own. I can't say you got it. But where did it come from? His dad.
He's being contrary because he literally hears me. I can't stand the Cowboys. Go Washington. So he wants to be opposite. Whereas my daughter, she's like, no, you root for Washington. I'm like, there you go. There you go.
But you know, the bite my bone the most is when I meet women. Now I meet guys too. I asked them, what made you? Because I'm curious. How do you become a Dallas Cowboy fan living in the DMV? Mm-hmm. One big, huge is one of their parents were. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then the second reason is the racism. And of course, we discussed that previously. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. Mm-hmm. But this is the one I hate the worst. Because it has no validity. It's the stupidest. The uniforms was cute.
I knew you was going to say that. Yeah. No, that's not a valid reason. Oh, yeah. Gwen, we didn't show the lady that you met this week.
So, the day of the game.
Which game?
The day of the Steelers and the Washington game.
Okay.
I had to go to Kaiser. And as I'm coming up the hall, she coming down the hall, and she is rocking it. And this is Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
And I politely asked, can I take your picture? Sure. Send her this. She had the fever. She's like, wait a minute, I got another piece in my bag. Because she wasn't really wearing the mask. Uh-huh. She said, wait a minute. Then she had a jacket on top of the jacket. I love it. I love it.
So Tanya is another.
Thank you, Tanya. Tanya. I love it. I love it. And we all kind of buckling down now, but it's gonna be nice if we could get out and rock our Redskins summer gear again. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of pieces that you can only wear when it's nice weather, but yes. I'm ready.
And I must say, Gwen looks right cute today. I've told her that she looks cute today.
Well, thank you, Sabrina. And I like your shirt, Sabrina.
Oh,
because you mixed my favorite 2 people, football and Jesus.
Let's see. I don't know if you can see it. Sunday.
You mixed my favorite 2 things, football and Jesus.
Okay, guys. So on this coming up show on Wednesday for Football for Beginners, we're going to start in on the player positions. So we're going to talk about the various player positions for offense. Then I think next week we'll do defense, and then we'll do special teams. And we're going to explain the job that each player has at their position, starting on Wednesdays for Football for Beginners. Yep. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
So there you have it. Another great episode of Spikes and Heels.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday as well as this Wednesday for another tutorial. Mm-hmm. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I'm Gwen.
I'm Sabrina.
And we just want to say peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.